Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. It is Twilight Friday, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, exactly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're starting this weekend with a fast main track. Of course, we got the all-weather Tapeta all weekend long. We got a nice couple of days of racing ahead of us. And certainly good to see you back. Good to be here with live racing again.
Yeah, beautiful day. So come on out and see us. We got the big contest tomorrow. We got $50,000 in that gross jackpot guarantee in the Rainbow Six as we kind of started new after we paid it out last weekend. So a lot of excitement building, Ronnie.
Yeah, we got that fast main track, as I mentioned, and we're going to start it off today on that fast main track with a 6-furlong maiden claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. No scratches or jockey changes, and Brian put together an early pick 5 ticket. So let's take a gander.
I did. I was pretty condensed on both tickets today. We'll get to this opener here in a second. $16 ticket. The single is in race 5 with Royal Squeeze off the claim for Jose D'Angelo. 4 deep in race 3 in that 2-year-old race. Royal Attitude on top for Dave Fox for me in race number 4. The 7, Alize on the drop is another single. Looks pretty tough in there. And then 4 deep in another 2-year-old race. We go to the outside. Omo 10 Girl for another Dave Fox first. I got him a couple of them on top today.
Yes, and Leona's going to ride that one a little later on this afternoon. Starting it off in here, we'll start it off with one of the horses you did use on your early pick 5 ticket. That's the current 6-5 favorite, Solaire, who's hoping for a clean start today.
Yeah, and we'll show that. Last time it didn't really go this well last time, as you're going to see. Solaire is the 10, and he's going to drop way out of it a little bit early on. And, so right off the bat, Ronnie, on debut, we're up against it. She's behind. You don't want to do that as a first-time starter. You're playing catch-up the entire way, but we're going to go now in a second here. Now she's making her nice wide rally on the far turn, and obviously she had to be used a little bit to get this kind of position entering the far turn. And, she flattens out a little bit late, but I don't really want to hold that against her at all, because to me it was, she had to work a lot harder than anyone else to get to this point. What's she going to be here? 4, 5, 6 wide on the bend, and she's only beaten, she's beaten less than 3 lengths. She's going to get within a half length of the lead. You could argue she's just a neck out of it right now. She gets floated. I thought she kept on nicely, Ron. I thought this was, all things considered, for a group like this. Again, we're talking 12-5 maiden claimers here. She actually puts a nose in front here. It doesn't bother me at all that she flattened out late, and you can see the 8 is swooping and the 5 comes up the rail. So, Ron, I thought this was a pretty solid effort and really something to build on. Let's hope we're well behaved at the start. Lionel's aboard, and I think that's a good thing as well.
Well, she's going to go from that outside post break from the rail today for Victor Barboza Jr. As you mentioned, Lionel having a good meeting. Yeah. He'll be in the saddle doing that inside post. I went with the number 2 horse in seconds, currently 4-1. She's out of here, is cutting back to 3/4 a mile. She went up, she set the pace, she finished third. Now, she was 47-1 that afternoon against Simla, going 7/8 of a mile. Javier Gonzalez, is the trainer. You're getting Wilfred Gonzalez in the saddle today. It wasn't a bad performance, and no one really scares me in this race. I thought the horse would be a little higher than 4-1, but sitting up there at that exact odds now.
Yeah, I think that 47-1, 42-1 in the last 2 starts might scare some people. I expect you get a little bit of a drift, and her form seems to be moving forward. I mean, you look at the figures in her last 3 starts, they're going upwards. If she can do it again, it's tougher, easier said than done, 4 starts in a row, but if she does do it, she's a player in here, and you can actually argue, Ron, that last race was faster than anybody's ever really done in here.
The number 5, who you have in second, interesting gem. This one from the Antonio Siafi barn. Luca Panici in the saddle, 6-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to get on the main track because she's run on the Tapeta in all 3 starts, but she's only run 3 times. She's run pretty well. I think she probably bounced a little bit, regressed a little bit last time because that run 2 back was really good. If she can handle the main track, she's a definite player in and amongst a group like this.
The number 6, I'm Exquisite, is a daughter point of entry debuting for Ralph Nix with Lasix added. So I just wanted to look at a stat, how he does with 3-year-olds and upward starting. First-time starters in maiden claiming conditions. He's 9 for 51, 18%. He's, pretty good, 39% in the money, and the return of investment is $2.88. So positive ROI, and, Ralph does a good job. And I just wanted to see, instead of 2-year-olds all the time, how he did with 3-year-olds or 3-year-olds and upward.
Yeah, very, very early in the betting. You don't want to see this horse at 10-1 drawing in on post time, but like I said, early, because if she can run a little bit, she's supposed to take some money in a field like this.
Race number 2 this afternoon, 7 furlongs, claim is 3-year-olds and up. Number 5, Royal Squeeze, one of your singles. This is a hard-knocking 10-year-old. 10-year-olds don't get claimed that much, but Jose D'Angelo jumped in, grabbed his horse, and the horse is going to stretch out to one of its most accomplished distances today. 27 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds, 5 thirds, rally third behind a horse that's in this race, Nacho Papa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point you make. As a 10-year-old gelded son of Wildcat Air, you wouldn't think, he's too hot at the claim box. But Jose D'Angelo, to his credit, he'll claim anything that he thinks he can improve or that he thinks it can run. And Royal Squeeze has been in really, really good form of late. Okay, he didn't win at 2-5 last time. I understand that. But now we're in just a potent barn, 29% off the claim. And then conversely, Ron, too, not a lot in here to scare Royal Squeeze to me.
And Nacho Papa was pretty good. 6-1 on the line, I think, might be a little higher after that good performance last time out. We'll see how it plays out. Saul Matos, the trainer, he's got Jose Morelos atop this 6-year-old son of Brethren, who's a 5-time local winner. This horse likes to win, and he did so last time.
Yeah, I mean, he ran well last time because the winner got loose that day and didn't stop, and he came from the back a little bit, almost to the back in the 6-horse field, and ran very, very well. You can easily now, I think, draw a line through the 2-turn race, 2 back, focus on the 2 sprints for Saul Matos. They're pretty solid efforts.
The number 2, Sir Aggravator, is returning from the layoff and debuting at this 7 furlong distance. Responded in that first race after the claim by Joe Orsino. Just got beat that last time back in May.
Yeah, ran really, really well. Avoided claim that day, and that was, as Ronnie said, back in May. I haven't seen him since, so maybe tread a little bit lightly here, but all things considered, he ran very, very big that day to be dueling on the lead and still just missing.
Well, let's flip the page, and we'll go to race number 3 this afternoon, which is a 6.5 furlongs. Maiden optional claim is 3-year-olds and up. If they're not Florida Reds, they run for that $40,000 tag. Did have a scratch of the number 1 here. Cash It from the Peter Walderbahn. And I scratched in Alsada with Little Big, who you would think is expected to show more after pressing the pace. Target to finish 4th, was the favorite that day. That was its 6th furlong debut for trainer Rohan Crichton. I found the stat that I found a little intriguing with Rohan Crichton. When his second time started sprints on the dirt, 5 for 32, 16%. I thought it was going to be 30, to tell you the truth in here. I did 56% in the money. 186 is the return on investment. All his stats are good. I was a little surprised. I actually went back and checked it twice, see if I put in the wrong numbers.
The only thing, yeah, I mean, I agree with you because pretty much everything Rohan does is in the 23, 25% range. We've talked about this in the past, more so with his 2-year-olds, but even in this realm too. Rohan doesn't start a lot of maiden in maiden special weights. It hasn't really been his thing. He's getting those type of horses into the barn now, so we'll kind of see how we'll handle them. 9-5 on debut. Didn't run poorly. I agree with you, Ron. I think we move forward today in a pretty big way.
And what about that first-time starter, Royal Attitudes, half to Noble Drama?
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. I thought you might come up with this horse because I know you love Noble Drama, and Dave Fox did some really good work with that one. Earned almost $750,000.
The hard way.
The hard way. Well said. Well said. The Dam 2 for 8, second on debut. Broke her maiden in her second start. We also won the Susan's Girl here. So, I mean, there's some pedigree here to suggest Royal Attitude is a runner.
The number 2, Cross Hayes, proved he belonged, I believe, at this level. When he was shipped down from Tampa and finished second in front of the horse that was scratched, Cash It, was odds of 64-1 that day. And I can understand that. You don't know what you're getting when these horses ship down from Tampa Bay. I wasn't on this horse that day. Robert Smith, Marcos Meneses in the saddle again.
Yeah, a little bit of a wedding and a funeral angle here because the 64-1 is long gone, replaced by about 3-1. But you know what? With that being said, they threw a lot at this horse last time from the maiden special weight at Tampa on the turf to a bigger league here on the main track, and he certainly ran very, very well.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six ticket.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian, race number 4 this afternoon, about 5 furlongs on the Torpedo Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, 10,000. No scratches to let you know about in this particular race. But this is where the Rainbow Six starts, so let's take a look at my ticket. And I did go too deep in here. I think the race goes through the number 7, Alizé, who you had singled, I believe, on your ticket. But I put Drinks on Me on my ticket. We'll talk about that race in a moment. Race number 5. 3 deep in there with these 2-year-olds, but Time Passes, a half-sister to Outfoxed I used on top. Race number 6, my best bet today, Mary Quite Contrary, who is game winner against those maiden optional claimers. Ran into last leaf last time. Too much action for me in race number 7 with lots of coverage. Race number 8, the horse going for, I think, 4 in a row. That is Lana Akia Storm. And then in the last, went 3 deep in there with Olga, Nice Baby, and Action Rose.
32-40. I was a little taken back there. I was tweeting out my early pick 5, so I was multitasking here. It's an interesting sequence, and as Ronnie has said in the past, and I wholeheartedly agree with, these are great days to jump in because there's not a lot of money in the pool yet. You have a chance at sweeping it if you come up with a price or two.
Yeah, and if you got a single, like a couple of singles you had on your early pick 5 ticket, and maybe you do single a horse like the number 7 horse in here, Alizé. And I'll tell you why, this one claimed for $10,000 by Aubrey Mirage back in April. Now drops to that level again after winning a pair versus 16 starter optional claimers, then finishing third against 32 optional claimers, 2 starts back, and then was 6 behind the 1 and only Miss Ormet in an overnight handicap. That is not where that horse belonged, dropping back to where they claimed this horse. So is it really a drop? I just think they're finding the proper level.
Yeah, what's the over-under on Shake's claims on this horse? About 12 today,
Right.
because this is a good spot for her. And this is not one of those worrisome drops either where you say, you know what, they claimed her for this and now she's in for that. No. He's gotten out and then some. He's done a very, very good job. If you want to claim her, go ahead, because she's about even money in a spot like this, and I think on the drop run, she's just way too tough for this group.
The number 6, Drinks on Me, moves to the Jennifer Young barn after the claim. It cuts back to 5 furlongs again after notching her 3rd consecutive victory when defeating this level of competition. That was going 5.5 furlongs, which padded her record on the Torpedo to 7 races with 4 wins. So this horse loves this surface.
Absolutely, and she's a house horse in that she is a 10K claimer, and we don't have to worry about her form. Jennifer got a win on Saturday, and that was good to see. And as Ronnie said, this horse loves our Torpedo, wants to beat you too, and has a nose for the finish line.
What about the number 3 horse in your Queen Calypso?
I mean, he's going to have to improve to win, but with that being said, I mean, has run well in the past, and this is a drop now. We claim for 16, she's in for 10. It's not ideal, but again, you put the person there as well, and they get out if she wins. Again, I think it's all contingent on if Alizé comes back a little bit to this field, then all bets are off on who can win. If Alizé is Alizé, in trouble.
The number 2 Veil is cutting back, pressed the pace last time. I finished 2nd behind aforementioned Drinks on Me, going 5.5 on this all-weather surface for her. Delgado Chantal in the saddle today. So another horse that when you're handicapped sort of fits against this level of competition. But if, like you said, if this 7 horse runs the way it did in the past at the 10th level, dance might be over a little early today for the rest of them. Race number 5 this afternoon is a 5.5 furlong on the fast main track, maiden special weight for state-bred fillies, 2-year-olds, scratch the 9, the 12, and all the alsos 13, 14, 15, and 16. So still a nice full field of 10 runners will go to the post, and you put your late pick 5 ticket together.
I did. I lost my long shot in the 9, Miss Chutzpah, so we'll bob and weave a little bit, and we'll get to this race in a second on a $36 play. 3 deep in race 6 with I'm With You, Mary Quite Contrary. Looks pretty tough, rising in class, but I went a couple other ways too. Papa Jojo's my best bet of the day, 2nd time out for Safi. We know how good that is. I'm with you on Lana Akia Storm. I think I got that one right. 21 is the order in that race. And then in the finale, I go a little bit to the outside. I go all the way to the outside, excuse me. Number 8, Action Rose. She could be a decent price. Didn't do a lot of running on debut for Antonio Sano up at Colonial. Let's see what we get today. 2nd time out for a barn that can pop.
Folks in Hawaii will be glad you named that horse right there.
Folks where?
Oh,
Hawaii, yeah.
It's Hawaiian. Race number 5, 5.5 furlongs, as I mentioned, maiden special weight, fillies 2-year-olds. Is your long shot in here, you said? Or
No, long shot out.
Oh, so you have the number 11. Let's start with that horse because it's a big pricing, and it's number 11, Omo 10 Girl, who is the daughter of productive sire Gervin, debuting for Dave Fawkes.
Well, I guess I probably could have used this one as a long shot. You said it right there. Gervin's been very precocious as a freshman sire, especially earlier on in the year. Now, the dam was 0 for 5. This is her 6th foal. The other 5, not a lot. 2 of them did win on debut, though, so take note of that. And we know how good David is. He's 9% with first-time starters, but I feel like since the percentages got reset a little bit, he's down a little bit. This is a barn that can pop with a firster and was up there in the teens, too.
I did go with the number 2 horse on Top Time Passage, who's a half-sister to Oxford, who won both the Susan's Girl and My Dear Girl divisions of the Florida Sire Stakes last summer, stretching out to 5.5 furlongs. I think you have a video.
Yeah, this is craziness going on here. Check out the start of this race if you can see it. I mean, she doesn't break poorly, but you're going to see her go wide into the turn, what you can see. And I wanted to bring this up for a couple different reasons because obviously the lost ground into the turn is not ideal either, but this is a debuting 2-year-old filly, Ron, who they threw a lot at her in this kind of race, and I thought she ran okay. She didn't do a lot of running on late. You're going to see how wide she is kind of the entire way. She never really was able to get involved and get tucked in a little bit, and Ripley was in this race too, and I like the spacing. Ripley's actually run 2 more times since then. They threw a lot of time passage. Out Fox, you mentioned in the pedigree. Remember how good she was last year. Just was tour de force winning the 2-year-old filly races here. So I think we're going to get better from time passage today.
And we're going to show you stat on the trainer of Time Passage, Eddie Plesa Jr. Second career start, sprints under 30s, 12 for 50, 24%, 44% in the money. 248 is the return of investment. Eddie does an exceptional job. Got his go-to jock, Kevin Krieger, in the saddle. So lots to like about the number 2 Time Passage in this field of 10. You mentioned Ripley, the most seasoned runner in the field. Turns back, set that pressured pace, and weakened to finish 3rd, going 6th. Last time out for Juan Alvarado. Edgard Zayas. She's making her 5th start.
Yeah, and that's what's a little worrisome for me. I mean, now we're trying to break through in 5 starts. That's not ideal. I kind of feel like we kind of know what Ripley is, and I don't know if it's breakthrough time or not. I'm a little bit against her, although with that being said, I thought this was a spread race, so I put her in there.
You used the number 4, the missus for Mike Yates here, the daughter of Kozan.
Yeah, unraced dam, 6 foal, half Adiyama, who won on debut. Hey, it's Mike Yates with first-time starters. That's pretty good, 22%.
So that is race number 5. Very interesting race. 6th race this afternoon is 7 furlongs on the fast main track allowance optional claimer for 3-year-olds and upward. The optional tag, $75,000. Feature race this afternoon. And I did go, as you mentioned, you saw my Rainbow Six singled, Mary, quite contrary, who's game winner in her $40,000 maiden optional claiming debut, gets the Lasix back today after stalking the pace and finishing 2nd in the Azalea Stakes behind rising superstar last leaf, who just won the 3rd consecutive stakes up there, the $100,000 Audubon Oaks up at Ellis Park. Joe Cantonese, Luca Panici in the saddle, flattered by who she's been running with.
Yeah, I mean, this usually is a single for me. I put her on top. I didn't single her, but boy, she looks like she has a world of potential for Joe Cantonese and going the right way. And I don't know if anybody in here is running 2nd to last leaf, and she did it fresh off a maiden win, too, facing winners in a stakes for the first time. That's pretty heady stuff.
The number 5 Rapturous you have in 2nd, in for the $75,000 tag in this allowance optional claimer, hoping to back bounce after that uncharacteristic clunker in the Azalea.
Yeah, and I think I like the way you put that, Ron, because her overall form has been so good. I know she got beaten up a little bit by last leaf, and obviously Mary Quite Contrary was in there too, but, Ronnie said it. Her overall body of work is really, really good. She's been breaking from the rail in her last 2 starts as well. I like that she finally gets off of it a little bit, and it's going to give Edgar Perez some options, I think, today.
And, you know, the most interesting horse in the field besides Mary is the number 6 Taos, who's now in the Saffie Joseph Jr. barn. She makes a 3-year-old debut with Lasix. She has sort of had that inconsistent 3-race campaign before going to the sidelines. That was a long time ago, last October, but she's beautifully bred. She's a daughter of Intermischief, and she's working up a storm for the return. Edgar Zayas is in the irons, and this is Saffie. Good works. I think a horse like we both do, you have to go back and look at in this compact field.
Very dangerous, right? She's going to come back with Lasix, too. First time with Saffie. He's 25% on a trainer switch. He's good with all these kind of stats. Lasix, the long layoff, all about 25%. Main man Edgar's here, and I think the upside of this filly might be as much, if not more, than Mary Quite Contrary. I would not want to have her, not have her on a ticket today.
Race number 7 this afternoon is a 6-furlong sprint on a fast main track, maiden special weight, 3-year-olds and up. No scratches, jockey changes. And let's start it off with the horse that you have on top, and that's Papa Jojo. And you wanted to show a video, I believe.
Best bet of the day here with Papa Jojo. And this gelding just never saved an inch of ground on debut. He's going to be wide, wider, and widest. And, you know, the winner was on the lead here, Neophyte. You can see him there. So obviously you're up against it, trying to run into this horse who wired the field. And I thought Papa Jojo, this is kind of one of those sneaky okay efforts on debut. He was 9-5 this day. I understand that. But we know Saffie with first-time starters. He's about 15, 16%. But then we know him with second-time starters, and he's 28%. I just expect a big, big move forward from Papa Jojo today. Edgard gets aboard, and we're not going to lose ground every step of the way either today. And Neophyte's not in here to run off the screen. I think Papa Jojo, second-time starter, is going to move forward in a big way, and I'm hoping that's too much that these can handle.
And that is on, that race was on the Tapeta, so going to try the main track this afternoon. I did go with number 4, Too Much Action, who's making his 3-year-old debut with Lasix, the first start since finishing 3rd behind Sanford Stakes winner and 2022 Hall of Fame second-place finisher Witt. That was in their 5.5-furlong debut at Belmont last June. Jeremiah O'Dwyer, he's solid with maidens making their second start. He's got Marcos Meneses atop, this son of Too Much Bling. So I just thought, running against Witt, who's been in good form, that maybe this will get Jeremiah off the duck. Well, he's got to win already.
Taking the mantle for me, right? I've tried to get Jerry home a lot. This horse is a wild card. There's no doubt about it. Ronnie kind of read the resume of Witt, who was so good as a 2-year-old for Todd Pletcher and has come back and won graded stakes this year as a 3-year-old. We get Lasix. The other thing I like too, Ron, that was an 8-horse field on debut at Belmont Park. This horse was 5-1. He took a lot of money that day. Obviously something went amiss, but we've said it time and time again. You look at the stats for Jerry O'Dwyer this year, they're not very good. This is a barn that wins in the teens overall. He's going to get going, just a matter of when.
The number 3, who you have in second, Acuity, and this one, a Godolphin bred horse from Owen Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, he was pace compromised on debut, didn't take a lot of money, but this is another barn that typically moves them up with their second start, 21%. I expect better today. By Union Rags out of a Bernardini mare, certainly bred to like the main track.
Well, I found an interesting stat, too, with this horse. Second career start is maiden special weight in sprints. He's 7 for 38, 18%, 34% in the money. 122 is a return investment. So, Owen doesn't start a lot of horses here, so I wanted to put a stat out that people might be able to get a handle on. He does a good job. Of course, this horse is beautifully bred,
yes,
and we'll see how it runs this afternoon. The other horse I used in second, you have a third, Dominican Ice, cutting back to 6 furlongs today again after following that neck defeat at the distance 2 starts back with that distant second place finish as the favorite. That was going 6.5 furlongs last time out. I think the horse fits nicely here. Had a lot of chances so far.
Well, that's the problem because he's the best horse on paper, but Ronnie said it. He's had a lot of chances. Petulante's in tomorrow with his, or maybe it's Sunday, with his 90 buyer on debut. So he's coming out of the right race. 0 for 9 and 5 underneath finishes too.
That is race number 7. Let's go to race number 8 today. We're going back to the Tapeta at about 1 mile 70 yards. It's a starter, optional claimer for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. Starter for 16 or less, or the optional tag of 16. Full field of 9, and we both had the number 2, Lana Akia Storm, who is going for 4 in a row.
Well, I mean, he's just been in such good form. I brought up the last race just to kind of show you the raging form that she's been in for Jose D'Angelo. And here she is on the outside, the 7 horse at 7-2. This was one of those tricky races that some people thought it was wide open, like myself. Other people that like Lanya Kia Storm were going to say, how do you give me 7-2 on her? Because she laid over the field. She absolutely wallops this field, Ron, and right back today in a spot where she can't be claimed. So now it's a confident rise by Jose. I just don't really see any reason why she wouldn't handle it, especially with the form that she has been in of late, looking for her 3rd in a row.
Yeah, when you look back and say, wow, I could have got 7-2 on this
right?
horse. And Edgar Perez has been on top for all those victories, and he'll be trying to get the 4-peat this afternoon. Yeah, just a jiggy jog in the park that afternoon, so at 7-2.
The old jiggy jog.
Jiggy jog in the park. What about the inside horse, number 1, Jazzy T, who tried to make it 2 in a row after responding in the first race after the claim by unconscious Bobby DeBona with a rousing far left plus victory. 20 condition claimers. He seems to win with everything. Mile 70 yards last time out. Lionel Reyes rides. You can't leave this off anywhere off your ticket.
We'll give Bobby some love in the lightning round. He went up to Henderson, Kentucky and won a stakes with Steel Sunshine as well. I'm not leaving Jazzy T off my ticket, especially off that last race last time. I thought Lionel gave this horse a great ride last time, putting her in a race early that didn't have a lot of speed. Big danger right back.
Another one from Jose D'Angelo, also trains the number 2, is Brody's Honor, turning back after getting parked 6 wide when finishing at late running 5th against this level, going 8.5 on the Tapeta. Sonny Leone going to net ride this half of the uncoupled entry. You know the old adage, you never know with these horses come back, but boy, there's 2 horses in good form.
Yeah, I didn't think she did a lot of running last time, and she just passed a few faders, so I'm much more with her stablemate.
Race number 9 this afternoon, about 5 on the Tapeta. Maiden special weight filly 2-year-olds had a scratch. Not a lot of scratches on the card except for those also eligibles in race number 5. Scratch number 7, Hialeah Hottie. And I went with the 6. I'll start it off with Olga, who's cutting back to this distance after making the pace, finishing 3rd against this level, going 5.5 for Juan Alvarado. He's going to put the apprentice, Jason Hueyas, on top, and I think this is a speed play if I ever saw one.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got experience on some of these horses, too. She gets a weight break as well, and Jason Hueyas has done a good job taking advantage of that weight break as he's been very aggressive early on in his races.
Well, interesting horse, the horse you have on top, Action Rose, is making her local debut on the Tapeta after prompting the pace, fading. That was her debut, going 6 on the Colonial Downs main track. So Antonio shipped this horse up there. Edgard rode it that day. Edgard's going to ride it today.
Yeah, I like all of those things that Ron said. Edgard's 16% for riding for Antonio, too, so that's pretty important. Those dirt races at Colonial, you know, they only run about 2 dirt races a day on a track that predominantly is all turf, so they can be a little funky, a little speed favoring. This horse didn't do a lot of running. Antonio, second-time starter, 16% with an ROI over 250, says you better take note here.
The number 6, Olga. We already talked about Olga on there. I wanted to talk about Nice Baby.
Like Olga.
Yeah, no, debuting on the Tapeta and breaking the rail. If you go back and look at this horse's last race, stumbled at the start, then rushes up to set the pace in a race, then faded from her earlier efforts to finish 3rd against those state-bred maiden special rate runners. That was going 6.5. It was on that wet main track listed as good. It's Jorge Delgado, Chantal atop. This looks like an inside speed play, too, along with the number. You know, we'll see how this one plays out. Does this one hurt my buddy Olga?
Well, Nice Baby, I think there's a reason you've got her in 2nd, I've got her in 3rd. She's blown some big open length late leads last time. I got to see more before I think she gets her picture taken.
Well, that wraps up the 9 races on Twilight Friday, but we are not done. We have our lightning round to look at, and as we do in each and every Friday, we try and give you the updated jockey and trainer standings. Where are we going first?
Well, I mean, you know, obviously Miguel is far and above here, so we know that. But I think the story is Lionel, and he's gotten I think he got 2nd about 3 Fridays ago, and he just continues to hold on for it. But boy, Edgar Perez, he has been in good form too.
Yeah, you know, Edgar Perez riding great. You see right there. And Lionel been going out of town a couple of days, so getting interesting. MCL, we're waiting for him to come back. And Junior should be back for the fall campaign.
You would think so. And then on the trainer side, obviously Safi is running away with things. But the podium, the top 3 is still up for grabs. Rohan holding sway over Jose D'Angelo and Jorge Delgado.
Yeah, they're real close. But besides, if you don't look at Safi, put your hand over Safi, it's a pretty good race.
I tend to agree with that. Of course, the contest, we've got 3 weekends left of the contest, but you really want to get involved in this XP Reward contest because at the end of it, the top 50 play for $5,000, but front and center on Saturday, tomorrow, $2,500, 6 picks. You got to get over to Silks by 4:40 in the PM.
Yeah, the last 3 at Gulfstream, the last 3 at Saratoga. There were 2 winners last week, and I think they took back half each of that. So got to play. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is be an Express Bet Reward member, and that's free to do.
And Ronnie and I put a video together with our picks, so that'll be coming up shortly as well. Best bet for you today?
Best bet for me today is in race number 6. It's Mary Quite Contrary, 5-2 on the morning line.
I'm with Safi in race 7, 76. Papa Jojo at 3-1.
Papa Joe, my long shot this afternoon is, I forget where my long shot is here. Oh, not too much. Too much action, 6-1. That is race number 7, the 4 horse. And yeah, I think you might get that price, maybe a little less.
Mine scratched out my chutzpah in race 5. I could have easily went with the 11 in that race, almost 10 girl. Maybe we'll adjust that, but I've been told can't have 2 long shots on.
Well, you sort of did. You sort of did.
Oh, they put it in there for me.
Yeah,
okay. See, the boys are the boys in the truck they're not all bad.
Yeah. So, like you said, Bobby DeBona, everybody else ships out of town, and our Gulfstream horses kick some butt.
It's been a theme, right? And we've kind of highlighted it because the championship meet horses, even the Summer Royal Palm horse, has done so well. Here's last lead for Ronnie Spatz going up there. What a runner she is! Run on anything up there.
Yeah, she was fantastic, and that was her 3rd consecutive stakes race.
Yeah, and Ronnie's done such a good job with her. Tapeta, Turf, Sprint, Dirt, whatever. She just brings it with you. And then here's Steel Sunshine. He looped them all in the stakes here, and he's going up to Henderson, Kentucky, and getting it done as well. And a really, really impressive performance.
Yeah, it was very game in that race, and to see crossing the wire. So congratulations to all those connections, and it's great to have these Florida horses. They get legged up beautifully here at Gulfstream Park.
Absolutely. So congrats there, and that's it for us. We're happy to have you aboard on a 9-race Friday upstairs to Pete Aiello.
The Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance is really the vehicle for the transition for our racehorses coming off the track into a second career and safe environment for these horses when they're done racing. I've been passionate about racehorses my whole life, animals in general, and without the TAA to provide that oversight, there would be a big void in terms of making sure that we have this ongoing safe environment for our off-the-track racehorses. I'm excited about the undertaking and excited about working with our board and our team at the TAA to continue the wonderful progress that has been made. So I'm very excited about what the future holds.